If you enjoyed this video and want to support the channel, you can for $1 a month over on Patreon. Thank you. And one last little thing as well, just to get this little rant off my chest, because Sega has done something stupid and I need to address it. From Sonic Stadium, Sega does not consider Team Dark to be teammates or friends. On his podcast, quoting here, Team Dark isn't a thing. It's an out-of-universe brand, apparently. They're not a unit. They're not even friends. They don't do missions together unless the story says them doing it. Why?
Yeah.
Apparently, for Sega, on their mandate, Team Dark is not a thing. Apparently, to them, it's fan-made.
I didn't hear that bit. I didn't hear that bit being quote-unquote fan-made.
And apparently it says an out-of-universe brand. It's like, what do you mean out-of-universe brand?
I mean, I guess the idea is basically in the game. This stems back to Sonic Heroes, as in you got 3 different teams. You've got 4 different teams of 3 members, and there's Team Sonic, Team Dark, Team Rose, Team Chaotix. All right, they never call that in the game, but that's the group they put together. All right.
Yeah.
So I think that's what they mean by out of universe. That's what it means. You know, we call them T-Dark because they're all characters on the bad side of things. You know,
they're the one who established that brand in the first fucking place. And if they're not a team, if they're not even friends, why the hell you keep teaming them the fuck up?
Yeah, I mean, I get. And again,
also in Sonic 2006, Shadow considers them friends. Even Rouge said that she'll always be by his side if the whole world turns against him in the future. Yeah, that is non-canon. Apparently, that's non-canon now. But you wrote that. That is your game. You wrote that.
Yeah,
and Rand did this twice. Like Team Dark is a thing. You made it a thing in Heroes 2006, Free Riders, and Team Sonic Racing. Rouge. Yeah. They're practically retconning the entire history to make it more sense for newer audiences to get into. It's like, do you really want that?
I mean,
you're not creating like a new 52. You're not creating the MCU.
No.
You have an establishing brand continuing on and on and on.
Yeah.
Even Zelda doesn't do this.
Yeah. Oh God. I mean, Zelda's got enough like contradictions. It's got 3 different timelines, for God's sakes. That's where that series is.
Yeah, but at least it doesn't try to retcon itself. Metal Gear sometimes retcons itself, but it does it in very. I'll say one example is apparently Dr. Clark. In Metal Gear Solid 1, the original on PS1, it was referred to as a he. In Twin Snakes and onwards, it's a she, because Dr. Clark is paramedic from MGS3. That's one of the few only small retcons. One of the few small retcons.
Yeah.
This one you're basically saying, oh yeah, this wasn't a thing because we said so.
Yeah, I mean, I have often said this before, the Sonic continuity is both ever-present and yet non-existent, as in, unless they say it's a thing or not, we don't always know if it's true.
I mean, it's not as bad as Doctor Who when it does that its own retcons, but again, that's just ever-changing.
Yeah, I've always said
always some new ideas coming through.
Always new ideas, it's always making the rules up and then breaking them anyway. That's how that show rolls, all right? I know if you said before, it's like Ian Flynn is technically the one who knows this stuff. He's the only one I think who's even told about what is considered canon or not.
Yeah, and before anyone gets on Flynn's back, he said he wants to state that his belief that Team Dark makes more sense out of all the teams as besides Chaotix.
Yeah.
It doesn't like the fact that Team Dark is not a thing. He's on our side.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, for God's sakes, he's writing the next big game anyway. So if anything, he's going to be the one that's like, look, I'm going to try and do my best, all right, folks? So, you know, give him... He's already done enough for us. I mean, the thing I sort of thought about this whole thing is like to say that I mean, here's the thing. In character, I think Shadow and Omega wouldn't admit they're friends. Rouge would definitely be the one. She's the one who brings them together. Because
she's the leader as well.
Yeah, she's the one who brings them together.
And again, it's a little thing as well in Sonic Heroes. I figured out a while ago. I'm going to bring it up now. It's a little thing. Whoever speaks first when you select a team, they're the leader.
Yeah,
Sonic, Rouge, Amy, Vector.
Yeah. I mean, they are the first people you do see them. Well, as you said, the first person to speak are the ones who speak out are considered the leader.
Yeah. Small little nod that if you want to play it again if you need to. It is. You won't recognize it, but you're like, oh yeah, it's right. They are the leaders.
Yeah, and that's just it. And for me, it's like, again, in characters for themselves, Shadow and Omega would not admit it. They would not admit it freely. I mean, Shadow would be all kind of, cross arms. I'm not going to say anything. And Omega would just be like, it's logical to be in a team. It's logical to work in a group or blah, blah, blah.
Omega doesn't have friends. He has targets and allies.
Yeah, so again, in character, it makes sense they wouldn't admit it, but Rouge is the one who set it up, and arguably she's the reason they even did it in the first place. Yeah. But they do have they clearly have a relationship. It stems from that game, so I don't really
even
see
from even Adventure Adventure 2 and Shadow the Hedgehog onwards, there is a relationship.
Yeah,
is it a romantic one? No. Is it one you call close friendship between Sonic and Tails, or
it's like
apparently Silver and Blaze? Apparently, I don't like that pairing, but whatever. Like, is it that? No, it's not. But they are his closest acquaintances.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then, like I said, it's like he's the nearest. Like Shadow does not like to socialize with people, but Rouge is the one where he can confide in as like the one I could talk to about certain things, about stuff.
Yeah, so it just infuriates me to say like, oh yeah, Shadow doesn't have friends. Like, Shadow is not Vegeta. He's not to be. It's not meant to be the and. I know it's meant to be like, a kind of sort of evil Sonic. It's like, yeah, but that's not his only fucking trait, okay? He's not anti-Sonic.
Yeah, he started
Shadow.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. He started as the mirror opposite of Sonic, but then he does have his own thing. That's what most fans want him to be.
Because, and I want to anyone who's actually going to go in the comments, yeah, we know Terios was originally going to be a black version of Sonic.
Yeah.
We know.
Yeah, we know. We do know.
But the end result is that Shadow looks like what he does now. That's the official look.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I don't. Normally, you're the one to get annoyed about this because you're the one who talks about the continuity and whether it contradicts or not. I mean, I'm not as annoyed about this because, again, I don't. Them saying they don't consider themselves as a team in character, and again, Team Dark is not a thing they use in universe. That's understandable. I do consider them. They do have a relationship. They clearly come together. As SEGA have clearly put them together for a reason. When
they are a clique. They are a clique.
Exactly. Yeah, they're a clique, and it's like. That's how I see it. If they, again, I don't see this as a massive retcon for my sake, but again, I don't think to say that doesn't happen anymore because, again, they clearly are there. You set it up as a thing. It's like to say you're change again. One of the weird things that's going on is that we don't know whether or not whatever Frontiers is going to like set up new continuity or not, whatever. I mean, we're presuming it's going to stay in what we know from the games, but there has been this whole thing about, like you said, Ian Flynn knows about the continuity. He actually knows what Sega or Sonic Team decide what is true or not. And like you said, we said this with the movie, is that they are allowed to play with things. They're allowed to mess around, do different things, whatever, because it's a different media. In the same with TV and comic, they can do that stuff. The games are the ones that set up the baseline so that people can take off and then do their own thing with it, but they're the ones to set it up. So for them to say this is a bit odd because it's like, well, what else are you not telling us that's not canon anymore? Are you using Frontiers as a big reboot effectively? Because people thought that would Boom, and a lot of people were worried that Boom was going to be the massive reset button, but it was a spin-off at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Again, I don't want to get into tin hat theory like that's what it is, but like I said, it is odd for them to say that thing is what they don't consider is true or not. And even like, hey, here's another thing actually, the two worlds theory, that was something a while back. Apparently that's not a thing anymore.
And I call bullshit.
Yeah, because again, long story short, they did a little thing with Tails, like a VTuber thing, it was a cute little thing. And he says in it, it's like, oh yeah, there are humans that just live on the other side of the island. Or like the planet. So it's like
this little island, like South and West Side Island or a thing, the Angel Island thing. But yeah, the rest of the world is humans. Okay. How come they didn't do any shit when the world was taken over by Eggman?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, was it just literally, let the bald guy go after the fairies? We're good if he's not coming after us.
I took over the planet. You took over 3 islands, Eggman. Shut up.
Yeah.
Is that the world? Is that really the world? I'm sorry, but my theory on there being 2 different worlds, one with humans with some Morbians and one with both the Morbians, that makes more sense with the special stages in between, connecting them between with the Chaos Emeralds. Because in the ones with humans, there's no special stages for the Chaos Emeralds to go to, whereas the ones without humans have special stages.
Yeah. And we have said this before.
And before you say, Sonic Lost World and Sonic Forces doesn't have special stages, but the Chaos Emeralds aren't a part of the freaking story there. They're not collected. They're not seen in the story. You just turn to Super Sonic at the end.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing is like a lot of, in fact, weirdly enough, I think for Lost World and Forces, like Super Sonic is not part of the plot. It's not even at all.
No,
it's
I mean, you get the red in. People say, the Chaos Emeralds are in Sonic Lost World. Yeah, but they're an unlockable, and even in Sonic Colors, they're an unlockable as a bonus.
Yeah, they're not part of
not
the plot. It's
established
Sonic
in
doesn't
in
need
the
to.
lore of those games.
Yeah, it's not part of the game's narrative, really. And again, it's another thing. Like I said, this goes back to, of course, Yuka's initially saying there was a two-world theory thing, which again, it's like we kind of set that up because again, Sonic X kind of did that itself, because for a while X was sort of like the nearest to being sort of the official connection to the game's narrative, because it was saying, okay, they came from their world, they headed to ours, so that's why they do like adaptations of Adventure 1 and 2, and they do sort of like, oh yeah, Mobius is, say it, but I mean, there's another thing, apparently Mobius, the word's coming back, apparently. That's a whole other tale.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is getting a bit weird. I am generally surprised. I would be surprised that after we record this, there's any more like continuity shenanigans that are considered canon or not after this. I would be generally surprised if there's more stuff to come out.
And I'll be there to rant against it.
And I'll be there to morally ramble about it. So you know what you're in for, folks.